Welcome to the Supplier Diversity and Inclusion Podcast by Fips Consulting. My name is Andrea Fimian, and I speak with international guests who share their experience on supplier diversity and inclusion. Today, I speak to Fanny Ganti. Fanny is a French specialist in sustainable procurement and supply chain management. With over 15 years of professional experience, she's the founder of Transformative Procurement Change. In addition to her consultancy and teaching work, Fanny is an active volunteer with the Sustainable Procurement Pledge, SPP. Her mission is to empower procurement professionals to make responsible, informed decisions that foster long-term value and sustainability across organizations. Fanny, thank you so much for being my guest today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, Andrea.
Can you tell me, Fanny, where you're calling from? Because I know you're calling from a really, really nice place in France.
Well, I'm coming from Nice, which is in south of France.
Very nice. Beautiful city in south of France. So let's talk about SPP, the Sustainable Procurement Pledge. Can you share some more information about SPP, who you are and what you do?
Yes, of course, Andrea. I joined the Sustainable Procurement Pledge 3 years ago. The Sustainable Procurement Pledge is a commitment made by organizations to prioritize environmentally and socially responsible practices in their procurement processes. So it involves sourcing goods and services that minimize negative impacts on the environment, but as well support fair labor practices and promote sustainability throughout the supply chain. I am a core team member of the SPP Supplier Diversity Chapter. There are several chapters. You have the Scope 3 chapter, you have other chapters like the human rights, and I'm part of this topic chapter, which is supplier diversity, which is part of the Global Sustainable Procurement Pledge. That is a movement that is dedicated to embed sustainability and social responsibility into procurement practices. So our chapter aims to promote best practices in sustainable procurement with a special focus on engaging diverse-owned businesses and social enterprises. This year, we plan to offer more practical tools, partner with country chapters, and contribute to educating and inspiring procurement professionals worldwide. My involvement. So, what we do is we organize the online events. These events are totally free. We do share practices and connect professionals who want to make supplier diversity and social procurement central to their business. So, my work includes content development, marketing, and building partnerships to amplify our impact. So we are building a community that believes that procurement can be a real force for positive change.
Yeah, especially if you think about how much of the revenues of companies is actually being spent in procurement and how much impact can be achieved if you also look at responsible sourcing, social sourcing, environmental topics in your supply chain and not just internally in your company. Big impact.
And yes, we can make a huge impact. You know, the objective of social procurement or supplier diversity is to empower those underrepresented groups, companies, and bring also innovation. Diversity plays a big role in supporting the company's product innovations, service innovations, and broader reputation as well.
Mhm. So we're using the D word a lot, diversity, with the current situation we're in right now. So did the latest U.S. government actions have any impact on SPP or especially on the Supplier Diversity Chapter?
Well, we've been looking at what's happening in the US, especially over the last few months. Yes, indeed, recent US government actions have shifted the conversation around supplier diversity, especially in the public sector. And we are observing some corporate multinationals stepping down on supplier diversity. What I'd like to say is that SPP remains globally committed, focusing on the business benefits and sharing international best practices. So the chapter now supports all small businesses, social enterprises, and organizations, helping underrepresented groups, not just those defined by race or ethnicity. We are facing several challenges, which include finding the right suppliers, overcoming resistance to change, and managing data, right? But I believe there are solutions which involve building stronger networks, leveraging technology, and focusing on education that we can and we should highlight to have a broader impact of supplier diversity. So the chapter is currently navigating a shift in the diversity narrative, but we need to emphasize that while tactics may change, right, as we are looking, if we look at what's going, in the US, the core strategy and impact remain.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, there's been reasons why inclusive sourcing has been done, and they don't just disappear. So it's been discussed also in my previous podcasts with other guests that diversity, equality, and inclusion still has a reason to exist. Also providing a business value and a revenue increase value. So return of
Yeah.
investment for DEI programs is still there.
Yes, and we will share our perspective that the overall strategy and impact remains the same. Um, but the tactics, like I say, should evolve given the external landscape. So sometimes there are wrong perception of supply diversity programs. And I think that what we need to do is you know, um, to demonstrate value. It's not just a checking, a box checking exercise. Okay, there is, something that we need to measure. We need to measure and the impact of what we do. It's not just about spending. It's a value that we are bringing for the
Right.
company. So
Yeah.
diversity and inclusion means giving opportunities to underrepresented and getting benefits from it as well. It's a win-win situation.
Right. So how can companies or individuals engage with SPP or also the different chapters?
Of course. So, if you're interested in supplier diversity, I encourage you to join our LinkedIn group, SPP Supplier Diversity. But you can also be part of the SPP community. If you want to be part of the SPP community at large, I encourage you to sign the Sustainable Procurement Pledge. So, you just go to the SPP website, www.spp.earth, and you can sign the pledge, but also and then get engaged in the topics in the region or industry you want to hear about from other chapters or activities. Yeah, so I think that we are, what we want to do, we want to build a strong community of procurement and sustainability professional because people and the planet we need their pledge, right? So if you sign the pledge individually, you can, or as an organization, you help the community drive positive change by encouraging businesses to consider the broader impacts of their purchasing decisions and to actively support sustainable development goals. If you're an organization, you can join the SPP Champions program as well. So also I encourage you to visit our website, check for the SPP Champions program. You can support and set up, a local chapter as well if you want to get more involved in any topics that could be of interest, to the global community. You will find also on the website, once you've joined the community, you'll have access to, of course, community events, but also several resources as well. Very interesting and useful practical resources. Yes, like such as guides, practical guides that are totally free.
Very good. So there's nothing that should hold one back to actually sign the Sustainable Procurement Pledge.
I think there's no reason not to sign but I think there is a reason to probably help us bring more awareness. And I think that if we look at a global perspective, there is still, probably a need to equip and empower and encourage sustainability. And by bringing more awareness, tools and practice.
Cool. So you've been talking about companies and individuals that signed up with you. So are there like any success stories or some interesting collaborations that you can share here?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I remember, I think a year and a half ago, the SPP, so the core team, SPP core teams, signed a partnership with the Euclid Network, which is a social enterprise support organization that piloted a project by Social Europe B2B. It was a great experience for our Supplier Diversity Chapter because we collaborated with organizations like the Euclid Network, but also other support organizations across Europe to implement this project. So with the objective to connect corporates and social enterprise building B2B market in Europe by offering training, mentoring, and matchmaking programs. So it was a very, very exciting and successful project. We do at SPP organize World Sustainable Procurement Day. It's a 24-hour online event. And we had the great opportunity last year to have a hybrid session that was hosted at the Egg at the Impact Summit organized by the Euclid Network. So we had a hybrid session and it was really good. We hope we'll do more collaborations to support this movement.
Right. I think collaboration is key here, right? I mean, together you're stronger, you have more reach, outreach, and you all stand in for the same causes. So, but it's great to hear that successful collaboration and that's still ongoing. So, congratulations on that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Fanny, you also face challenges, and how do you overcome them?
It's not an easy question. I think that's the biggest challenge is culture, overcoming resistance to change, and also managing data. Because when we do, it's sometimes difficult to measure something when you don't have the data, and especially when it comes to social value. This will be a topic that we'll discuss at our next event. So yes. So I would say that finding the right suppliers, overcoming resistance to change, and managing data. But there are solutions that involved, you mentioned, and you were right about collaboration. And if we look further, it would be building strong networks. And today we can leverage technology and focus on education. I think that regarding resistance to change, to highlight the broader impact of supplier diversity. That would be, I think, from my point of view, the biggest challenge. But I believe that there are solutions that can leverage these challenges. The chapter is currently navigating, you've said, the geopolitical context. So we're currently navigating a shift in the diversity narrative, emphasizing that while tactics may change, the core strategy and impact remain.
Yeah, it's very, very important that you still keep on going and navigating and see how you can go forward and still be successful in what you do. So I think that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome, Andrea.
So very interesting to hear about the challenges and how you overcome them. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's amazing in how you try to find new ways to meet the current requirements. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome, Andrea.
Now, Fanny, we don't want to miss to talk about your own business. I mean, you also run your own business. So everything you do at SPP is one thing, but you also run Transformative Procurement Change. So can you share some information about what you do there?
Yeah, well, actually, I set up my own after, having navigating 15 years of experience working for private and public sectors. I decided to set up my own company. So basically, my business helps organizations transform procurement to drive social impact, sustainability, and innovation. So what I did is that I recently developed a tool, the Sustainable Procurement Maturity Tool, to turn vision into action, not just for supplier diversity, but for all responsible procurement.
That sounds very interesting. And I've been doing some of the testing with your tool as well. And it's a really cool tool and it gives you great inputs on what you can do better, change, how you can transform your own company into becoming more sustainable.
A force for good, absolutely, Andrea. And the sustainable procurement maturity tools answer to several questions. What is my current situation today? And what goals and targets should I fix? And basically, it answers to the complex questions, of navigating how do navigating a complex landscape, taking into consideration economic, social, and environmental considerations into procurement decisions. And many companies I've been and I've worked or I've heard, they don't know where they are at. So the idea is to give a visual of where they are at and help them, building a roadmap that is aligned with their strategy and also aligned with upcoming regulations.
Very good. I will for sure add the link also to your company into the podcast information, as well as the Sustainable Procurement Pledge information, the link to the website where you can sign up as individual or also the SPP Champions program where organizations can sign up. Now, I want to know, is there anything that, like one last topic or one last thought that you want to share with the audience, Fanny?
And looking at what's happening, around the world, I would say that every purchase is an opportunity to make a difference. So let's use procurement to build a better, more inclusive world.
Oh, I love that. It's short and crisp and a very clear message. And I think I also mentioned that before. It's not just about procurement. It's not just about supply chains and companies. It's also about individual purchases, right? What do you buy? Where do you buy it? And yeah, so love that. Thank you so much, Fanny. Thank you so much for sharing all your information and insights and being my guest today.
Thank you very much, Andrea. It was a pleasure.
Now, if you want to make your supply chain more inclusive, reach out via fipsconsulting.com or Fips Consulting on LinkedIn. Listen to my next episodes where I talk to more experts about supplier diversity and inclusion, responsible sourcing, inclusive sourcing, and the impact it has on their company or organization. If you have any inputs or topics around inclusive sourcing you want me to talk about, reach out. Thanks much for listening and buy responsible.